Should I come in right now? No? Should I come in right now? Yeah. Hey, listen. Real skinny, loud colored tinnies, body marked up like graffiti. I don't push a Maserati, Beamer, Benz, or Bentley. And yeah, I wrote a foreign, and Nissan looking spiffy. Hey, go ahead and doubt us, but what you know about us? And we ain't gotta follow, then we took another route. No, we ain't blowing trees, bro. Open up my window. I see you popping tags, but you know that's why your end's low. I tried to tell them we was coming, gon' let us in. Why they hating like we all a bunch of hooligans? No gimmicks, spirit in my lyrics. Know when people hear it, they gon' love it, they gon' fear it. And it ain't how we flow, cause when we show up at our show, they say we going so hard in the paint, they can't wait for some more. But some others say we preachy, some closed-minded geechies, like we ain't heard of Marx like a Nietzsche. Believe me. They don't know about us, they don't know about us. They don't know about us, they don't know about us. They don't know about us, they think we dumb, diddy dumb. But they gon' know about us. They gon' know about us. Hey, they gon' know about us. They gon' know about us. Oh, they gon' know about us. They gon' know about us. Oh, they gon' know about us. They gon' know about us. 622 plus, gon' add it up. Hey, that's a big problem. Call it calculus. Math don't subtract, but content like I had enough. Long hair, don't care, Samoan, plus I'm tatted up. I know this blow your mind, and I ain't blowing pine. Not talking women looking skimpy every other line. Yeah, I got a dime, I'm about to make a mine. Life in Christ got me finished like across the line. With the way that you telling me to do it, sell out to sell out. Nah, man, it's so foolish. Done, trying to beat you, it don't fit, misfit. I don't trip, everybody hate Chris. They saying get with this, just like a membership. They talking slick that this is it, but it's just gibberish. I say I'm interested, they say you different. How you gon' know, even if you don't let us in? They don't know about us, they don't know about us. They don't know about us, they don't know about us. They don't know about us, they think we dumb, diddy dumb. But they gon' know about us. They gon' know about us. Hey, they gon' know about us.
Good morning, middle school. How we doing today?
That's weak.
That's go again. Weak. How are we doing today? Better over here. How we doing today? Okay, it's
there
fine.
you go.
We'll warm them up.
There you go.
We'll warm them up. Speaking of warm, Luke, you've been outside today.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm telling you, I got out of my house. I walked to my car to drive here, and I was already sweating, like walking the 20 feet from my front door to my car.
Okay, glasses wearers.
Disgusting.
Who in here wears glasses? I can't. Okay. But have y'all noticed?
Wait, do you actually wear glasses or no? Because you raised your hand.
Wow, we're lying on a Sunday morning, but glasses wearers. I keep my house, like my apartment, very cold, and so I stepped outside. I can't wear my glasses in this season anymore because then it's immediately fog,
and I
have to wipe off my glasses.
Rancid, disgusting
it's
outside.
The worst.
Yeah.
But Luke, although the heat kind of gross, there are a lot of good things about summer.
Yeah, there are a lot of good things about summer.
There are.
You know, like hanging out with friends, right? College football right around the corner.
Summer? Oh.
It's right around the corner.
Okay,
It's right around the corner.
No, guys.
There's baseball season. I love baseball.
I'm indifferent about baseball. Sure, it's great. I don't watch it.
There's lots of cool things about summer, right?
Yeah. But guys, that kind of segues us into an activity today, which is called Yup or Back Up Summer Edition. It's pretty cool. Luke, I'm an opinionated person. I don't know if you're an opinionated person.
You know, I tend not to have opinions on things. But I will say there are certain things that I have very strong opinions about that I probably shouldn't say from the stage.
Okay. So, opinionated, we are doing opinions about summer. So I need everyone to stand up, stand on your feet, stand on your feet. This is you're getting your stretches in. Here's what's gonna happen. There's gonna be something on the stage, or screen. I'm sorry, we're on the stage, on the screen. On the screen, there'll be a topic, something about summer. And I need you to decide, I love this, yup, or you know what, I am a hater of this, or I just am indifferent and I don't like it, and that's gonna be back up.
We can say this is like the certified hater section.
Certified hater arena,
right?
And then fan.
The certified fan portion over here, right?
Okay.
Like if I just love this thing, I'm going over here, or if I hate the thing, I'm gonna go over there.
Now, if you're indifferent, you're kind of like, I could go either way on this. I don't care. Middle, all right? All right, do we get the rules? We kind of get it? It's very simple. I'm assuming you do. All right, let's see the first one. Luke, yup or back up?
All right, going on a hike. Yup, I love hiking.
Or no.
No, hiking, lame.
Here's the deal, Luke. We live in Texas. This is hiking in 100-degree heat.
If you can
With
allow
bugs,
me,
yes.
If you can allow me a counter argument,
Go ahead and counter argument.
that's a mountain.
Do we live near any mountains?
And if I'm hiking in a mountain, I'm gonna enjoy hiking a lot more.
A question for the crowd over here. Are we hiking in Texas, or are we saying, like, if I'm anywhere else, I enjoy hiking?
Anywhere else. Okay.
Anywhere else. Okay. No, I am a hike hater.
Hey, Keller, I respect the, like, I don't want to go hike in the Texas heat.
No.
I don't even want to go outside.
No, I went hiking in Austin.
It's just gross.
Not a fun experience for me.
All right. Not really divided, but kind of divided. Let's get that next one up there.
One. Roller skating. I love roller skating. I really do.
I am trash.
I'm not good at it. I'm not good at it. But it makes me feel like I'm a 1980s cool kid.
I am a certified roller skating hater.
Guys, do you roller skate or roller blade? Skate every day. Skate.
Wait, who roller skates every day?
Over here, roller skating every day.
Good for you.
Day.
Good for you.
Y'all are kind of like take it or leave it.
I can't do that. At some point, like,
afterwards, you
I'm
feel
just
bad.
worried if I fall. But like, if I fall on the concrete,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to catch myself and break something.
Yeah, sure. Nah, I'm a fan of any activity that has a disco ball while you're doing it.
Okay, you know what? You
right.
swayed me.
Disco ball
I'm more in the
time over
middle.
here.
I'm more in the middle. There's conditions to whether or not I
Yeah.
enjoy roller skating.
All right, let's see the next one. Family
vacation. Shout out families. Anybody?
My family's great. I do love them, but there is a threshold.
Shout out people's families.
It's like
All
3
I'm gonna
days.
say is, if you go on that side, you hate your family.
No, I don't.
You
No,
hate
we
your
don't.
family.
It's like a 3-day threshold or something, right? Where you're like, I'm
raise your
having a
hand
good
if you love
time.
your family,
Leave me
because I
alone
love my
now.
family. Yeah, family vacations.
No.
I went on a family vacation to New York.
Oh, that's
I went to
fun.
Rhode Island.
That's cool.
I had fun.
Nah.
Family vacations are awesome.
Family vacations are good for the first 2 or 3 days, and then I'm like,
There is a limit
I would
to
like
it.
to go home.
I will agree.
now.
There is a limit to it.
I've seen too much of you. All right.
Let's get that next one.
Next one. Gardening. Oh, there's a mass exodus of the teenagers to the no gardening.
Wow.
Mass
This cleared out really quick. I did have a blast at lunch with Victor, Bubba. I wish you could have joined us.
Oh, wow. We got a few people that are pro-gardening? Few people?
Yes, shout out gardening.
Y'all throwing anything good? Any tomatoes? Tomatoes? I am a
my
fan.
mom, like, we've been growing tomatoes for years.
That's
and
cool.
like, up until this year, we've averaged 2 tomatoes a year. A year. This year is the first year we've had like maybe 20 to 30.
See, I love like when I have neighbors that garden, because then I get fresh produce. But I am over here personally for myself, because everything I touch that is a plant dies. So, you know? All right, let's see the next one.
Summer school!
Learning
Who
never
loves summer
stops.
school?
We didn't move. Is anyone learning anything this summer? Maybe it's a new hobby, a new trade.
Yes.
We're learning over here.
Yes.
Italian?
Hey,
That's learning. What are you learning this summer? You're learning what? Slope? Like math? Nice.
like y equals mx plus b slope.
Look at that. Retaining information from math.
You are learning math in church. That's not something I thought you were
Let's go.
going to hear today.
I am not good at math. I was a film major. You only had to take one math class.
I'm gonna throw out something here, and the people might not like this, but school does start in a month.
We'll talk about that later. All right, next topic. Watermelons. Yes.
I love watermelon.
A nice cold, crisp watermelon on a hot summer day. Oh, watermelon popsicles. We're watermelon haters? We are watermelon haters?
Watermelon is objectively the best
so you
fruit.
like artificial watermelon, just not real one.
However, it's only good in the summer.
Okay,
it's
we've
literally
got
not good any other time of year.
Watermelon,
It's
so
only
that's
good in the
probably
summer.
a good reason.
I'm a big watermelon guy.
Yeah.
If you get me if you grill me a nice burger and I get a watermelon as a side.
Ooh.
Oh.
Guys, is there anything better than like a 4th of July celebration? You've just had a soda pop, maybe a burger, and someone goes, here's a slice of watermelon for you to enjoy. It's really good. I'm actually 100 years old.
I do want to clarify. Did you say soda pop?
I did say soda pop. I could have said sody pop, and I didn't, so... I said soda pop, all right?
All right, let's get
I'm human, I make mistakes.
Let's get that next one up here. Let's see.
Slip and slides.
You know, I'm going to just say it.
I'm kind of
not a fan. Not a fan.
Okay. For some reason, I always end up kind of going off track on the slip and slide and then eating it in the grass.
Are you sliding at an angle?
Probably.
Or are you just...
I got too confident with my sliding abilities.
So this is my thing, right?
It is.
You go through the slip and slide, and you get all wet, and then to get back to the front of it, you have to walk through the grass.
Yeah.
Then your feet are all covered in grass.
And there's no
and then
way
you
to-
go through
yeah.
the slip and slide, and then all the grass is at the bottom of the slip and slide.
Yeah.
And then
Your
now
feet
I'm
are
covered
muddy,
in grass.
And there's no cool way to get to the back to the front of a slip and slide. There's no cool way to do it. It's always just like a walk of just despair getting back to the slip and slide.
The walk of shame to the front of the slip and slide.
All right, let's see the next one. Amusement parks. Amusement parks. Yes or no on the amusement park? No?
Not a fan.
I love amusement parks. Whoever here just loves roller coasters? Big fan of roller coasters? Roller coasters? Yeah.
Six Flags, mid.
Has anyone ever been turned away because they were too short or too tall for a roller coaster? Too tall? I've had a friend that be too tall.
What roller coaster are you too tall for? That's the problem. It's Six Flags. It's too hot. It's too hot.
Nah, man.
And then Six Flags is just not that fun.
If you're too hot, go on the Superman ride. You'll get some air in your face real quick. It's fine. All right,
let's see.
Let's go ahead and see the last one. Guys,
Summer camp.
Summer camp. If you look at this, they are both yup because summertime, summer camp is the best. Who here went to Camp Eagle? Camp Eagle, Camp Eagle! All right, guys.
Yay, Camp Eagle.
Woo! Little bit of promo for PTSM. If you have not seen the Camp Eagle highlight video, it's on our YouTube and Instagram pages, so go ahead and check it out. But guys, that's it for today's game, so you can go ahead and take a seat. Thank you for sharing your opinions with us. We do value them. We're not selling your data to advertisers to learn more about what you will purchase for the summer.
However, if you do get an ad from PTSM about something oddly specific to one of those things, it wasn't us.
Yeah.
It wasn't us.
If you get a coupon from PTSM for free watermelon, just know that we were recording this service. All right, guys, I think that was pretty fun.
I love games where I get to hear people say what's on their mind and stuff. For sure.
Speaking of games, Luke, you had a pretty adventurous Thursday.
I did. I got roped into hosting a game show.
You did. You did.
I don't really know how to explain what this was. This wasn't my idea. This was Cameron's. Shout out Cameron.
Yes.
I think the only way really to kind of show what it was is just to put it on the big screen.
Sure. Let's go ahead and run Luke's game.
And this has already devolved into chaos. All right, what is up, middle school? I'm Luke, I'm one of the interns. I'm here with Cameron and Mia, and today we are doing your announcements video. Now, Cameron kind of came up with this idea, and I'm gonna probably explain it really poorly, but I'm gonna try my best. How this is gonna work is I have a list of certain things about the announcements, and I'm just gonna ask them to give me an answer, and they're gonna write it on that clipboard. Then they're gonna slap each other with a tortilla, and there's water involved in this somehow. It is awesome. It is super hot, so let's jump right into this. All right. What day is Hawaiian Waters? Mia got it first. It's the 20th. It's the 20th. I'm gonna take a step back. I don't wanna get hit.
I'm just here. What time is Hawaiian Waters? Bang, Mia got it correct again. It's 6 to 8:30. That's right, Hawaiian Waters, July 20th, 6 to 8:30. Hit him again. Broom ball. What day is broom ball? Oh, Mia got it again. It's July 26th. Cameron, you gotta fight back, Cameron. You gotta fight back. I don't know what to do. We are fully at a Texas Tech football game right now. That just Can we get another tortilla, please? Thank you. What time does broom ball start? I think Cameron got that one. Cameron, you finally get one back. Oh my God. Final announcement. What day is Shift Forward Sunday? August 13th. Yeah, that's right. Shift Forward Sunday, August 13th. I don't want to say that Mia won for the sake of the funny, so they both get to slap each other. Because why not? Yes. I love this. I don't get slapped with a tortilla. That was not planned. Anyways, that's been your announcements. Why am I getting attacked? Yeah, shout out tortillas.
Man, that was something else. Happy to see everybody. Good morning, good morning. Why don't y'all go ahead and stand and worship with us? Brought me from darkness and clothed me in garments of praise. Jesus, forever my song will be you. Hey, I'm living in freedom. You've taken my burdens away. Jesus, forever my song will be you, only for you. For the cross that you bore and the debt that you paid, for the victory you won over death and the grave. This is the reason I sing, for the hope that you give and the joy that you bring, for the promise that heaven is waiting for me. This is the reason I sing. I will not be silent. I'll testify of your grace. Jesus, forever my song will be you, only for you. For the cross that you bore and the debt that you paid, for the victory you won over death and the grave. This is the reason I sing, for the hope that you give and the joy that you bring, for the promise that heaven is waiting for me. This is the reason I sing. So good, so good, so good to me. Forever I'll sing. You're so good to me. So good, so good, so good to me. Forever I'll sing. You're so good to me. For the cross that you bore and the death that you paid, for the victory you won over death and the grave. This is the reason I sing, for the hope that you give and the joy that you bring, for the promise that heaven is waiting for me. This is the reason I sing, for the cross that you bore and the death that you paid, for the victory you won over death and the grave. This is the reason I sing, for the hope that you give and the joy that you bring, for the promise that heaven is waiting for me. This is the reason I sing. Jesus, the reason I sing. Jesus, the reason I sing. Awesome, awesome. Thank you guys for worshiping with us. We're going to roll right into the next one. Worthy of every song we could ever sing, worthy of all the praise we could ever bring, worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. Jesus, the name above every other name. Jesus, the only one who could ever say, worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. Holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder. Show me who you are and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me. Worthy of every song we could ever sing, worthy of all the praise we could ever bring, worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. Jesus, the name above every other name. Jesus, the only one who could ever say, worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. Holy, there is no one like Thank you guys so much for worshiping with us this morning. You guys may be seated.
What is going on, PTSM? How are y'all doing this morning? Woo! Alrighty, so this week we're continuing our talk about what it means to be a party starter. And so some of y'all may not know me. My name's Cameron, one of the interns here, and I'm super excited to talk to y'all this morning. So let's get right into it. So last week, my co-intern Luke, he came up and actually talked about how a party starter knows helping someone else win is just as important as winning themselves. And so this week, I'm coming up and talking about how a party starter follows the golden rule. Now, I know most of y'all know what the golden rule is, right? It's treat others the way you want to be treated. I mean, you hear this in school, from your coaches, from your teachers, like anywhere and everywhere, you see this. But what if I told you in the book of Luke, we actually see Jesus talk about this? So let's set the stage, right? So in this moment, Jesus is actually, he's going out, he's preaching the gospel, and, at the specific moment, a religious leader comes up and asks him what it was going to take to follow him and live the full life God promised. But this religious leader, he actually didn't care what Jesus had to say, right? So the religious leaders, these guys knew the law, which is 613 commandments, inside and out. So when he asked this question, he was really just trying to get Jesus to slip up, be like, when Jesus answered, like, hey, actually, Rule 32 says this. Like, he was really trying to get Jesus to mess up. But in the ultimate plot twist, Jesus actually responds with a question of his own. So let's take a look. So in Luke chapter 10, verses 26 through 28, it states this. Jesus replied to the question, "What does the law of Moses say? How do you read it?" The man answered, "You must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your strength, and all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself." "Right," Jesus replied. "Do this and you will live." See, Jesus knew that out of all the 613 laws, if you did love God and love people, everything else would be a-okay. Everything else would fall into place. Now, I know, students, that love your neighbor as yourself can sometimes be a hard concept to grasp. I've been in that situation where, hey, I don't love myself as much as I should in a situation, so I don't know what loving someone else could look like. And so I'm sitting there man, I don't know how to help this person. I don't love myself, so I don't know how it looks to love someone else. And so that's where the golden rule comes in, actually. See, we can change love your neighbor as yourself to treat others the way you want to be treated. And so if we do these two things, right, which is, love God and treat others the way you want to be treated, man, we live out that 613 commandments in those two things, right? So we have those two responses, and Jesus, two main points. And so the religious leader actually responds in quite an interesting way. So we have love God and love people, or treat others the way you want to be treated. But the religious leader only asks a question to one of those responses. And it's, who is my neighbor? And so I kind of find this interesting, right? We have the two responses of love God and love people. But then he's like, man, I love God. I know how to do that. I do that every day. That's fine. But he asks who the neighbor is. And so maybe in his life, he has people he doesn't want to love. Or he's like, hey, man, I shouldn't love these people. Nah, they don't think the same way I do. I don't need to love them, right? And so, he's asking these questions, and Jesus responds in quite an interesting way. So Jesus, at this time, responds with a parable, which is a story. And so if we look at Luke chapter 10, verse 30 and 33, verse 30 says this. A Jewish man was traveling from Jerusalem down to Jericho, and he was attacked by bandits. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him up, and left him half dead beside the road. So let's take a step back and look at the situation. In broad daylight, there's a literal man getting beat up by bandits and left for dead on the side of the road naked. That's insane. And the reason why it's a Jewish man is because this religious leader that had asked the questions was a Jewish religious leader. And so Jesus was specifically putting a Jewish man in that situation to get his point more clear and more precise across this guy. And so if we actually look a little further into the story, people will just walk past this Jewish man in the story. They literally see the Jewish man beside the road onto town, and they just walk past him. In fact, other religious leaders look at this guy and just walk past him, right? I mean, put yourself in the Jewish guy's shoes. Like, man, if I was that dude, I would want someone to help me. I'm literally half dead on the side of the road, sitting there, and people are just walking past me, not helping me. Like, hey, I'm still alive. They can see me breathing, but they don't do anything. Like, man, I would want help. I'm sure you would too. But I mean, we can also flip-flop it. Let's say you're the people walking past. Like, man, maybe you're thinking to yourself, man, if I bring this guy into town, like, man, people are gonna think different about me. People are gonna think, man, like, I'm dirty like this guy, or like, they won't wanna like talk to me, or they think I'm weird. Or maybe you're thinking to yourself, man, I don't got time for that. Like, man, there's 50 other people behind me and we're walking into town, like, they got it. Like, I don't need to help that guy. But if we actually look, a few verses later, we see something incredible happen. So in Luke chapter 10, verse 33, it states this: "Then a despised Samaritan came along, and when he saw the man, he felt compassion for him." Now, that is even more crazy than a dude getting beat up and left on the side of the road. I mean, the Samaritans were despised by the Jewish people. And so as the art major I am, I actually drew a picture of this to illustrate it, so we put up on the board. Yeah, right there, look at that. That's my art major. Like, I got the picture right here. It's one of one, actually. But no, like, I'm not an art major. But no, like, these Jewish people despised the Samaritans. Like, they wanted to be, like, halfway across the world. They didn't want to be near these people. Like, they called them half-breeds. Oh, that's the thunder. I thought it was my mic. No, they called them half-breeds and were like, despise these people. And the Samaritan knew that. But the Samaritan, man, he looked past all that, saw a man in a situation, and was like, hey, man, if I was in your situation, I would do that for you. And I would want someone to do that for me. And so, like, later in that verse, that's what the Samaritan does. He brings him into town. He gets him food. He gets him water. He clothes him. He brings him back to health, right? So if you were the Samaritan, would you do that? I mean, would you do that to someone who, like, hates your guts, basically? Like, who calls you a half-breed? Would you even, like, consider helping that person? See, but that's exactly what Jesus wanted to convey in this situation, was that the neighbor isn't just the nice person, but it's also the person you may not like at all. And so students, maybe in your life, this could be someone who spreads rumors about you, who's maybe just plain mean to everybody around them. And so you're like, man, why do I have to love this person when they're not even nice to me? They're not even nice back to me, right? But the Samaritan, like we said, he looked past all that. Man, he looked past all the hate. He knew that Jewish guy was probably gonna wake up and be like, what are you doing to me? Get away from me. But he didn't care about that. He kept going. And so students, like, even I struggled with that growing up. Was like, hey, I don't see why I should like this person because they don't like me back. But a main point that we have to get, like, in our heads is that not every interaction is a transaction, right? Now, I'm not gonna sit up here, and like I said, it's not easy. I'm not gonna sit up here and say it is. Because, man, I've had people in my life where they were so mean to me, and you know what? I just didn't love them. I didn't. I've had moments in my life where I just did not love them, right? But it's loving those people that truly shows the love of God in every walking life, in every point of your life. And if we look at the Samaritan, he knew this, and that's like the main point for the golden rule is, man, it's not just a nice person, it's also a person you may not like at all. And so the Samaritan truly understood the golden rule and really lived that out in his daily life. It was like, hey, like, I see you in this situation, I'm gonna do for you what I would want someone to do for me. And so when we look past all that and really start looking at interactions, not always as transactions, we can truly start living out like God's plan and God's purpose for our life and really living out that rich and satisfying life that God wanted us to have. And so students, as you go into small group and as you look into that and keep going and pressing further into what that may look like in your life, I really want you to take a moment and really think about the Samaritan. Like, dude, They called that Samaritan a half-breed, and he looked past all of that. He did not care. And because God doesn't care, right? For any of that. Like God's like, man, we're people and we love each other. That's what we're supposed to do. So as you go into small group and really think about it, like I want you to ask yourself, like, what does being the Samaritan in my life look like? What does, treating interactions not always as transactions with no strings attached, like, what does that look like for me in my life? Right? Because, if we do that, man, we're golden. People could start liking you more in school. People will be like, hey, I can hang out with this person, and, man, I don't feel judged. I don't feel like I can be myself in this situation, right? And that's what Jesus wants us to do that for everybody, right? So as you continue in the small groups, really think about that. Really, how can I live that out in my life? How can I really, truly live that golden rule that the Samaritan shows us in my life? So let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you so much for today. I thank you for all the students that came in this morning, and I pray that they will really take this golden rule into account in their everyday life. I really pray that they will just, in every walking moment, really think of the Samaritan and look back and be like, man, what did he do that I could do? And really start treating others the way they want to be treated with no strings attached. Not always interactions as transactions. And so as they go into small group, God, I really want you to, push into them more and really think about what that could mean. And dear God, I just pray that we have a great rest of our Sunday. And it's your heavenly name I pray. Amen.